Pagan Coffee Talk. If you enjoy our content, please consider donating and following our socials. Now, here are your hosts, Lady Alba and Lord Knight.
Okie-dokie. So, time for another episode of Pagan Coffee Talk. Just a reminder, folks, we do have a donation button on our website and throughout most of our materials. And if you like what we're doing, please consider buying Lord Knight and I a cup of coffee. Throw in one for Lord Oswin, too, because he does all the editing. He actually probably needs more coffee than we do, because at least we're keeping ourselves awake. Well,
considering this is around 4th of July, you know what he did for 4th of July?
Oh, no.
Edit audio.
Oh, no. But he needs the coffee so he can stay awake to listen to our bullshit while he edits and all that stuff. So yeah, he needs extra coffee. But yeah, we'd really appreciate it. It's what keeps us around. It's all tax-free donation through Life Temple and Seminary, which is the organization that brings you Pagan Coffee Talk. And today, this is going to be a hell of a segue. Today we're going to talk about demons.
Coffee? I mean,
demon coffee? I mean, that would be interesting.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
I think that's the coffee that comes from that cat that shits the coffee beans out, and it's like the most expensive coffee in the world. And yeah, that's demon coffee in my book. Because if my coffee really came from your crap, then I don't know how I feel about that.
Really?
Okay.
That's where you had to go.
I did. That's exactly where I had to go. But I still want to try that coffee. But anyway.
So what is a demon?
That's a great question. Whose definition are we going by?
I mean, because
shit.
Over in China and Japan, their idea of a demon's completely different than ours.
Is it?
I think.
Okay.
At least it is from the animes.
Oh. Well, explain.
Well, most of the time in most of the animes, they refer to these dog cat people. Or cat people or raccoon people where they have the ears and the tails seem to be demons.
Okay.
But over here, we're talking about malevolent spirits.
So Pikachu?
Yeah.
Is a demon.
Yeah.
Well, I guess most of the Pokemon would be demons.
For some reason, that seems to be the realm.
Okay, but what do they do?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, okay, so that's their appearance, but how else are they known?
Well, just like
what are their traits?
What is that? The 5-tail, the 9-tail fox that they have rubs its tails and will create lightning.
Oh, okay. So basically, the demons have particular gifts,
right,
or traits.
Basically, kind of like the Norse gods and all this. You had the god of thunder. You had the demon of thunder. You have the.
I see.
So this demon is something that's not a god, but it's not human. It's something
in between. I see. So is it more, but do they also have, but it's not a ghost.
But it's not a ghost.
They have a very distinct difference between the two.
I believe so. I could be completely wrong. But then when you come over to like the United States or the Western world,
right,
all demons are classified as these malevolent spirits out to destroy you.
Okay. Well, I mean, so first off, let's kind of talk about that middle,
right.
Most of what the Western world thinks of as demons is in direct answer to Christianity and Judaism. And
yes.
Yeah, it's based on the opposite of whatever the forces for good are in your religious text.
Right. The demons now are supposed to be the fallen angels.
Right, exactly.
That went down with Satan.
Right, that followed him, exactly. So, I mean, it really is the classic battle of good and evil. If one exists, then the other has to exist. And, that is logical to me. That makes sense. We can't acknowledge one without the other. So, I do think that there's something to that. What are they exactly? Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I think that there has been a lot more work done in trying to identify them and trying to understand them than most people realize.
Right.
There are dozens of what are considered to be antique pagan texts that are very expensive that, people pay really good money for that deal with demonology and get really specific about who the demons are and what they do. And again, all of that. I have a book on gods and demons that's it's almost like an encyclopedia of all of them.
Now, wait a minute. And when they talk about, are these demons always bad in this context? Or are they just mischief?
Well, that's where it gets kind of strange. So a lot, and I mean an excessive amount of what we consider to be demons are really gods from cultures that predated Christianity, Sumerians being the big ones, that were villainized. So all of these smaller gods, lesser gods, or even some of the big bads of that time, they were converted into demons.
Kind of like how some of the Celtic deities suddenly became saints.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yes. It almost seems that for every power, for every force that an angel or a saint or a prophet or a savior, anyone who, again, is a direct hand of God, there is their equivalent. Now, the interesting thing is, so of course, by Christian standards, they are all agents of the devil. In other religions, not necessarily. A lot of them are autonomous.
Right.
They sort of just do their own goddamn thing. They don't seem to have an agenda.
Well, I mean, that was like Legion in the Bible from the story. He was just sort of like hanging out.
Yeah.
Tormenting this one little guy and all happy with himself.
Yeah. And I think the funny thing about demons, especially, again, when you consider the fact that a lot of them are converted gods, the very fact that we continue to talk about them and study them, and that's what keeps them around. Because otherwise they would just be history. That's it. But yet we have continued to feed them and give them a reason to stick around. And I do think that some of them have morphed. I think that what some, may have started out as a mild fascination, others have become like a big deal. And it's kind of messed up. You go, why? Why are you doing that?
Well, there was that one, the Zuzu challenge.
Pazuzu.
Yeah.
Pazuzu. I love Pazuzu. He's my bud.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Pazuzu was actually the Sumerian god who was supposed to be the origin of the exorcist.
Right.
He is the statue, the little icon that they pull out of Egypt, who then ends up, killing the priest and then traveling to the New World. It's very convoluted. But eventually he ends up in this child who spins her head around, spits out pea soup.
So let me ask some real questions. Do we actually believe in demons, this demon possessions, and do these things actually happen? All the crazy stuff that we hear out.
Me personally.
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that is accurate. I have experienced nothing of the sort. I have seen nothing of the sort. I have not had an occasion to believe that one of these beings, if they are in fact real, would give two shits
about what you're doing.
Right. About jumping into someone's body and taking over and having, again, an agenda. Because when often these agendas are they're projected as pure chaos.
Yes.
They're chaos for the sake of chaos. Not too many things in nature work that way.
Nope.
Right. And because we don't believe in the supernatural, that's it. So they're either part of nature or they're not. So if they are, but we have nothing to compare it to. Even a storm, a hurricane, a tornado, they have a purpose.
Right. I mean, but again, I believe certain spiritual energies or certain spiritual beings can possess other beings.
Yeah.
All right. So again,
but I believe they have to be.
I believe there has to be a willing part there.
Bingo. They have to be invited.
Yes.
So I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I've not seen it. Not like that.
Now, we do believe in dark beings. Mm-hmm. There are evil, disembodied spirits out there.
Yes.
But I don't, again, I'm like you, I don't see some demon army being led by Satan. Hey, you need to go out and take out Bunny because what? She's going to do something. What?
The reality to me is if demons existed in the way that they are depicted, right? Be it books, pop culture, movies, whatever it is, we would see people possessed walking the streets.
Yes.
We would encounter this far more regularly. Now, again, what do we know? We know that mental illness over the years has been, miscommunicated. We know that before science, it was misdiagnosed as, a demon possession.
Well, I mean, tuberculosis was a demon possession back in the day.
Everything was at one point. I also think a lot of it comes from cultural intermingling, right? Like, can you imagine white Europeans of Scandinavian origin being introduced to some of the African gods?
Right.
They would have been terrified, right? They're big and they're scary and they're different.
And I hate to be this way. The other way around's the exact same too.
Absolutely. There's a reason we get called white devil.
Right.
There are plenty of culturally, when we clash, or not even clash is a bad word, when we meet.
Interacted.
Yeah. Anything that was wildly different like that, we didn't like. Nobody does.
But again, you were also living in this area where everybody pretty much believed the same thing you did.
Right. Yeah.
All right. There wasn't a big, diverse, broad way of thinking.
No. But it does bring some interesting thoughts about. I mean, look, biblically, there aren't too many named demons. I know there are some.
Right.
But, like Lilith. Lilith has been a huge battle forever between the pagans, who is she? What does she represent? Is she a demon? Is she really Adam's first wife? Was she a previous deity from a different... Yeah. She is a polarizing figure. But a lot of people think she's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also kind of go, what about ghost stories? What about creatures, other things that, again, we don't have any other way to classify them, so they just get lumped in with the demons.
Right.
Is that really what they are?
If a ghost possesses you for 2 seconds, are you really possessed by a demon?
Right. Are vampires demons? Right? All these other werewolves, are they demons?
Yeah, ghouls, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a really interesting but whatever it is, we're fascinated by it. Let's be honest. People are fascinated by this idea of these creatures. We love a good ghost story.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but just the story of King Solomon taking demons to build and forcing them to build
the temple. Yeah. But that's it. We love a good ghost story. I mean, you look at modern age, the Walking Dead, anything zombie related, we love that. People love to be scared.
Yes.
So I cannot imagine that is exclusively a new phenomenon.
No.
But what are we really trying to trigger? Fight or flight.
Right.
Yeah. It's the adrenaline. It's that little bit of chemical hit that we get from it. Now, there was a point in time where we didn't need that hit because we were literally running for our fucking lives every day.
On an hourly basis.
Yes. We were prey. We literally were being hunted by other things that could kill us. Every day was a struggle. But the moment that eases, even the littlest bit, we start creating these stories.
Mm-hmm.
And we start, so I don't know. I mean, even you look at kids and you go, kids are terrified of the monster under the bed, but they want you to tell them a ghost story.
Thank you. They want you to tell them about the monster underneath the bed.
It's wait, what?
What?
So you want to be scared. Well, no. What? But you're going to wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
No. Back in the day, we would watch the Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Holy crap.
All right. Now I have, 2 older sisters. So you got me, my 2 older sisters, their friend down the road, the guy that lived next door, and we're all piling up here at our house watching Friday the 13th. It was more fun because somebody would always overreact. The girl down the road would always climb over everybody, trying to get what? He's not going to come out of the TV.
But listen, let me tell you, it was also the taboo, right? Because our parents didn't want us to do it. There are 2 things from my childhood that still scare me to this day. One was seeing Johnny Depp die in Friday the 13th and get dragged across that room and shredded, right? And it was Johnny freaking Depp, and I know that, and still scary. And the other was the first Children of the Corn movie. Oh my God. I have no idea why it scared me so much. I've watched it as an adult and gone, huh? Why was I so scared of this?
Psycho freaked me out.
Oh, yeah.
As a kid, Psycho freaked me out.
Yeah.
Because what freaks me out about it is so plausible. This is something that, all right, I'm sorry.
Well, that was Hitchcock's thing.
Yeah.
All of it was plausible. Like, it was
that.
Yeah. But we do tend to just go, if it's not supposed to be here,
remove it.
Demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, demon. Instantly. You're walking me.
Apparently the dog wants to go get coffee.
This is the funniest thing I've ever had. I literally just got rolled across the room by the dog. That was amazing. Okay. Wow, that happened. He doesn't like this demon conversation, apparently. So, I don't know.
Well, no, that made me lose my train of thought.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just... No. Well, now he sounds like a demon to top it all off.
But again, no, you're right. Anything anybody can explain, they find it dark, is suddenly a demon.
Demon. Gotta be. Gotta be. What else could it be? The question really does become, how did we create such a massive category? When you think about the opposite end of things, when we think about the good, right? So you have God...
Right.
At the top of the structure for most religions. Maybe you have angels or some sort of, again, like a messenger, but that's it. There's nothing else.
No.
Demons have all these subsets and categories and
I mean, Legion alone is literally supposed to be multiple demons shoved together.
Yes. And that's my point. It's so I'm gonna give you an 80s reference and make you really laugh.
Oh, God.
There's no angelic Voltron equivalent, okay? Right? So Legion, we are many. There's no, the angels don't come together to create Voltron to take out Legion. It's not a thing, right? And I'll form the sword, and there's the Archangel Michael, flaming his way through the sky. It's not a thing. It should be. That would have been a hell of a movie. But why?
Mighty Morphin Power Angels.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, you asshole. I love that. Mighty Morphin Power Angels. We're getting t-shirts made. And that's what they're going to say. Incredible. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. And I mean, okay, yes, I know it. There are the orders, right?
There, you have the whole angel, the choirs, of course. And those can get a little complicated, but they're not.
They're very complicated. The seraphim, the cherubs, the archangels are their own classification. There's a lot.
I would have to refer back to Lord Oswin, but I don't even know. There's a group. There's just a group of angels that carry the throne around.
Yeah, but nobody talks about them. No. Everybody's just like, the angels, and they're all together. That's it. Demons, they're just yipes. Dictionary volumes of
You can even say it to a layman, and they'll even start to say, what kind of demon was it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, a lot of this really is human fascination. That's, I think, why so many of them exist.
Mm-hmm.
We love it. We love scary. We love weird. We love creepy. We love the adrenaline hit.
I mean, people love horror and gore.
Yeah.
I mean, and for those who are sitting there going, well, I don't rubberneck.
Yeah.
That's the reason you're rubbernecking. You're hoping to see.
Yeah, something. It's very strange. It really is. We do. We have, again, a very animalistic kind of need to interact with mortality. And yes, and blood and gore definitely do it. I mean, let's not forget, the gladiator.
Right.
Anything Middle Ages, I mean, medieval, all of it. It was
again,
like,
people against
God.
lions and tigers. You know how this went.
So I don't know that there's as many demons as are depicted. I also think a lot of things have been demonized throughout time.
I think a lot of people want to use it as an excuse nowadays.
For what? Behavior? Well, that's actually, an interesting thing. I mean, let's be honest. One of the things we call alcohol is what? A spirit.
Right.
And where does that come from? It comes from the fact that people used to think you would drink and you would get possessed.
Possessed by the
spirit.
The alcohol spirit.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even an alcohol spirit. It could be any spirit.
It was a spirit.
Effectively, it was a demon.
Right.
You were possessed. And it's like, wait a second, what? But we kept doing it anyway. We kept on keeping on. That's a very real thing. There are countless religious groups and retreats and rehabs, and that's what it's all about.
So do you think people have to keep on hyping up what demons keep on doing to keep them current? Because again, just like we were discussing, alcoholism or being drunk was considered you were possessed.
Yeah.
Getting a cold or sick. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, do we have to hype it up because, well, we figured out what caused this, so do we have to escalate?
Well, that's a good question. Because honestly, why do we still say bless you? You sneeze, we used to think you had a demon in you. You were possessed. That's why that happened. Why do we still say it? We know that. We know what it is.
Yeah.
You have a piece of dust in your nose. You have allergies. You have a cat. You
have that one long hair that tickles the back of your nose.
Like, why do we still do it? It's considered polite. Yeah. That's weird.
I think for people my your age, we do it more out of habit.
But it's weird.
It is weird, but it's just habit.
Everyone does it out of habit. I mean, you can sit in a doctor's office and someone sneezes and 6 people go, bless you.
Well, I mean, for a while there, we were saying gesundheit.
But it means the same thing.
I know.
Yeah, it's still a blessing to exercise the thing. It's like, what the hell? Imagine doing that every time somebody yawned.
Yeah, but you hear demon stories now, movies and stuff like this, and these demons do all sorts of...
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, they have superpowers now. Super trumped up demon powers.
Right. I mean, we're talking Goku, Super Saiyan 50,000.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, too, I mean, again, culturally, there's so much to unpack here. But I personally don't feel like people in craft really give 2 shits.
No.
We don't really talk about them. We don't acknowledge them. We don't work with them. We don't care. I am more concerned about a vengeful god or a deity with a chip on their shoulder than I am a demon.
I'm with you there.
Any day of the week.
Yeah.
And I think that it's because we interact with them more. That's one of the things we strive to do, right? It's striving to work communicate with.
You only piss off a goddess once.
Yeah. But that's it. When you're trying to devote yourself to spiritual time, interacting with, working with, learning from deities, right, they're the ones you gotta worry about.
Uh-huh.
And as far as, whether or not there really is a counterbalance, well, guess what? That's not our dog, not our fight.
Nope.
We are inconsequential on both sides of that equation. And if it came down to it, we would be shoved the hell out of the corner like a 6-year-old. Move. You don't need to be.
I don't even know if we'd get shoved. It was just more like get ran over.
This is an adult conversation. What are you doing here? Is kind of how I equate it.
I'm sorry. If these forces really went to work like they want them to,
Yeah.
at the end of it, it's going to be, I got some on the bottom. Oh, look, there's humanity.
Yeah.
Can you scrape that off?
Yeah, absolutely. Why would we be the ones to fight that fight?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I mean, what are we going to do?
Yeah, exactly. So because if you've got evil entity X, that's what I mean. Again, we're back to angelic Voltron, where, I just don't see it as our fight. That is something entirely different. And I mean, there are people that still think the war of heaven is a thing that's happening.
Right now.
And maybe it is.
Maybe.
But how the shit would we know? We have nothing to do with it.
No.
Yeah. It is no different than it would be like the gods interfering with a football game.
Thank you.
And choosing a side. Why they would, even if it's the Super Bowl, they don't give a crap about the Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't matter, right? Why would they? It just makes no sense.
I mean, how does this bring you more spiritual happiness and growth just because the Cowboys won?
Right, exactly. They're just sitting there going, "Oh, look, they're playing a game." Like it doesn't affect them in the littlest bit. I do think, again, trying to keep it crafty. I'm just full of puns today. Jesus Christ, we'll make that a T-shirt too. Crafty. It is worth exploring some of the various demons because, again, they were gods at one point. So if you want to know some more about a particular faith or a prehistoric people,
right,
that's a good place to start. Well, and I mean, we have to understand too, it's a topic that weirds people out.
Yeah.
Nobody really likes it.
I mean, when you come down to it, when we actually come down to casting those circles and stuff like that, and if you are going to really summon a demon, I hate to be this way, there's a lot of things you have to think about before you do this.
But do you? I'm gonna listen. I'm just gonna be honest here, right? Like, so
I mean, if we do it what they consider the proper way,
okay. Well, that's different. But I mean, if you're calling quarters and you need to bring in a big bad, it's possible.
But again, you just said this earlier. If we're going to cast circle and start bringing in big energies, why are we going to go to a demon? We're just going to summon gods. But
that's what I'm saying. But some of the gods, as we all know, are gnarlier than others.
Yes.
And come to the table with quote unquote darker traits.
Yes.
So at that point, I mean, okay.
Okay.
But you better counterbalance them because they're going to mow that circle down.
Yes.
And one energy is potentially going to consume everything else.
Right.
So that's all. Well, that is indeed an interesting topic. Me personally, I like my coffee the way I like my demons, which is
hot and black.
Yes. So, pour me another cup. Let's do this.
Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk